There are two main reasons why I started this channel almost 2 years ago. The first is that I wanted to improve my own skills as a designer by critiquing and picking apart levels and trying to understand the ways in which they shaped themselves around the systems of their game. I just figured it'd be fun to turn these into a form that everyone can watch and learn along with. But the second reason, one I feel like I've been less successful at, is communicating to people what a game designer does. I may be able to bring some insight into my pulling apart or criticism of a level, but fundamentally this critique format was borrowed from people who came before me, meaning that anyone could do it. In making my videos, I've not really explained the process of how a level is made, other than occasionally saying, project management is hard. And this discrepancy between what the developers understand about the job and what the audience understand about the job seems to keep appearing in the recently emerged topic of labor organization. If you were to go to some gaming subreddit or a comments section of a gaming pundit on YouTube and ask people there what they thought a game designer did at their desk for 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, I'm not sure a lot of people could give you a good answer. And that's not their fault, by the way. Non-disclosure agreements make this really hard to talk about, training is often sequestered behind expensive college programs, and writing about what you do at work after you come home from doing that work is not the most appealing thing. If us developers want to show the gaming public that we work hard and are deserving of better conditions, then I am convinced that we need to show how the work we do is hard. Also, I'd like a new portfolio piece. So, instead of picking apart someone else's level, let's make our own for a change. I'm starting a new project called Level Streaming. Sundays, starting June 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to start building a map in something called the Dark Mod, streaming it live on YouTube here, and I'm going to keep doing it every week until it's done. I'll show you some of my past work and how I think it could be better. We'll go over a level design document I've prepared for the map that we will be building, and then we're going to go over the game engine that we'll be using and how that impacts level design. And from there we'll be going through the whole process: blockout, scripting, texture placement, lighting, optimization, sound placement, and most crucially, playtesting. And that's where I need you. A couple of times over the course of the project, I'm going to prepare a survey and release a build of the level over on the forums for Last Life, a group of game analysis channels that I'm affiliated with. Once we've waited a couple of weeks, we'll take player feedback, your feedback, and we'll see what we need to change in reaction to it. By the way, if you want to participate, the Dark Mod is completely free and available for download. It doesn't require any other games to run, despite the name, and it plays almost exactly like Thief if you really like Thief. But the other thing I want to do is, later on in the project, bring other game developers on to maybe critique my work, but also just more broadly talk about what their day job is like and what their line of work involves. I'll start with my coworkers because, that's easiest, but I hope to build to a wider representation of people and specialties. Hopefully together we can turn this into a pseudo podcast about what it's like working in the game industry while I do game design work in the background. And of course I won't be opposed if some of my friends from the video community hop on as well. I also know I'm not going to be able to nail this every Sunday because this thing is going to be months long, but I'm going to try my best to stay consistent. I also feel like once I have this relegated to Sunday afternoons, I'll be able to devote the rest of my week to making more formal videos in the background, so please just know that that's happening. Sound good? Alright, see you Sunday.